Hi, welcome to Mindful Chatting. I want you to finish this sentence. I'll finally feel good about myself when blank. When I lose weight, when I finish school, when I get licensed, when I make six figures, when I find the relationship, when I buy the house, when I become a better mom, when my business grows, when I'm finally organized. Now, let me ask you something. How many times have you reached one of those milestones only to immediately create another one? You didn't stop. You moved the finish line. Because here's what I've realized: some of us aren't chasing success, we're chasing permission. Permission to finally feel like we're enough. And if that's true, no accomplishment will ever be enough. But don't worry, as we walk through this, we're going to unpack it together.
Welcome to Mindful Chatting, a podcast where therapy meets real life. I'm Kristen, a therapist, business owner, and a lifelong student of what it means to fully show up in our relationships, in our work, and in our healing. Here, we unpack mental health concepts, explore mindfulness tools, and talk through the messy, beautiful, in-between moments that shape us. Whether you're a fellow clinician, a curious listener, or someone navigating your own growth, this space is for you. Let's chat.
I think many of us unknowingly make an invisible contract with ourselves. It sounds something like this, like, if I achieve enough, then I'll deserve to rest. Or if I help enough people, then I'll truly matter. If I'm productive enough, then I'll finally feel worthy. But here's really the problem. Every time you meet the condition, your brain creates another one. And it's like climbing a mountain that keeps getting taller and taller. I want to talk to you about really my own experience with this. I have been working on a doctorate, building my own practice, launching my courses, being the primary income earner, being a mom. And there were moments where I thought, once I finish this, or once I get done with this, or once I get to this season of life, and then only to realize that there was just another goal, another thing that I need immediately replaced what the other goal once was. And I just started to realize that it never felt enough. It never felt like I was reaching any of these milestones. It was just one more hoop I had to jump through to get to the next one. And that burnout and that exhaustion, that was real. That made me feel like, am I really actually accomplishing anything? Or does it feel like I'm in a hamster wheel that's running around in circles? And I'm sure a lot of you have felt this way. And it's not, an unknown or scary thought, but it's also realizing that I'm not stopping myself and giving myself permission to actually acknowledge what I did in this journey to get to where I need to go. I'm just on to this next thing.
If you want to understand your ADHD in a deeper way, I've created the ADHD Crash Course, and it walks you through ADHD step by step so that you can actually start understanding your brain and not shaming it. Everything's in small, doable lessons designed for your ADHD in mind. The link is in the show notes.
So, where does this come from? This usually isn't random. Many of us learned that early that love and praise and attention felt connected to how we were performing. Maybe you were raised for achievement more than emotions. Maybe you became the responsible one, the helper, the peacemaker, the overachiever. Maybe being useful felt really safe than having needs. And without realizing it, you started believing, I'm valuable because of what I do, not because of who I am. When your worth depends on your output, rest feels like a threat, not a gift to you. Achievement is wonderful, but identity is very different. Achievements come and they go, they ebb and flow. Careers change, kids grow up, businesses evolve, degrees end. If your identity only exists inside of your accomplishments, what happens when life really actually slows down for you? Or when something doesn't go as planned, suddenly you don't just question what you did, you question who you are now. And this shows up a lot in ADHD. And one of the reasons I think that so many ADHD women struggle with self worth, many have spent years trying to compensate for their ADHD, trying to prove that they're capable, trying to overcome some of the stereotypes that they have placed upon them, trying to make up for all these missed deadlines, forgotten appointments, or feeling too much for people. Eventually, achievement stops being exciting, it becomes survival. And the hardest working people are often trying to outrun a belief that they were never enough to begin with.
Okay, quick pause. Because you've ever found yourself rewinding this episode like 3 times because your brain just drifted, this is for you. I hear this all the time. I can focus, just not when I actually need to. And that's exactly what the focus course is about. Because here's the truth. ADHD isn't a lack of attention, it's a regulation issue, which is why some days you're locked in for hours and other days you're rereading the same sentence, wondering what just happened. So, inside my executive functioning focus course, I break this down in a way that actually makes sense for you. We go through how your attention works in your brain, your specific focus patterns, why you get distracted externally and internally, and how to actually build a system that helps you stay on track and come back when you drift. Because the goal isn't perfect focus, it's knowing how to return without spiraling. So if you're tired of blaming yourself and you just want something that actually works with your brain, I'll link the focus course in the show notes. All right, let's get back to this episode.
But what does enough actually look like? That's just the question that changed things for me. What if enough isn't a feeling you earn? What if it's a decision you practice? Because honestly, there was always going to be another goal. There's always another milestone. There's always going to be another project. And if you keep waiting to arrive, you'll miss your entire life chasing a destination that keeps moving for you. I want to talk about this worthiness loop that we get into. The first step of this worthiness loop is we have to notice the condition. I'll be enough when. That should be a red flag when you start saying these things of once this happens or once a particular time frame or season or phase gets over with. That should be a red flag or a cue to you that I'm in this worthiness loop. The second part of this is ask, who taught me this? Where did this idea come from that I needed to keep striving and keep jumping through these hoops? Where did it come from? And then I want you to challenge that. Is that actually true? If I arrive to this particular thing, will I be able to give myself the rest that I'm promising myself? And what do I need to do in order to give myself permission to do that? And then I want you to replace it. I can pursue growth without making my worth dependent on this outcome of this project. And sometimes that's a mantra that you have to say to yourself a lot for it to finally kick into being identity of who you are.
If you're listening to this and thinking, this is exactly what I struggle with, I want you to know that I built something specifically for you. The EF, or Executive Functioning Activation course, walks you through why task initiation feels so hard with your ADHD and how to actually get yourself moving without shame, pressure, or burnout. It's short, practical, and designed for ADHD brains, not productivity culture. If starting is your biggest barrier, this course gives you structure, language, and tools that actually work for you. You'll find the link in the show notes.
This conversation is deeply tied into planning because I think that we're deeply connected. And planning should help you organize your life, not determine your value of your life. When you miss a task or a thing that you're supposed to do, that should be information for you. It's not a verdict of who you are. When your planner becomes proof of whether you're good enough, well, you stop using it as a tool and you start using it as a mirror. And mirrors can be very distorted. If you remember one thing from this episode, remember this. You were never supposed to earn your worth. Growth is beautiful and goals do matter. Achievements can be deeply fulfilling, but none of those things get to decide whether you deserve love, rest, compassion, or belonging, because those things were never rewards. They were always needs. And maybe the version of yourself you've been chasing isn't someone you become. Maybe it's someone you've always been all along. I want to thank you for joining me. And as always, be gentle with your mind. one more thing before you go, and this helps me personally staying present and grounded, which we all need, especially when your brain wants to spiral into disconnection. Me too. It's Brain FM. It's musically designed to help ADHD brains, well, really anyone's brain, focus, relax, or sleep, and I use it almost daily. If you want to try it, I've dropped my link in the show notes. And if you're looking for planning tools or ADHD-friendly resources, I'll keep a list of my favorite links in every episode.